Have you ever felt that someone close to you, instead of celebrating your achievements, seemed to hide something behind sweet words and a fake smile? Jealousy rarely shows itself directly. It disguises itself in subtle behaviors and actions that carry hidden, dangerous intentions. Stay with me until the end, because the last sign is the most dangerous. It doesn't just turn jealousy into something toxic. It can destroy friendships and deeply shake your confidence. Let's go. They minimize your achievements. Have you ever shared an achievement with someone and instead of getting a smile or genuine support, you received a cold comment or a dismissive phrase like, "Oh, that's nice, but it's not that hard to do"? This is one of the most common ways jealousy shows itself. People bothered by your success rarely express sincere happiness. Instead, they choose to downplay your victories to devalue what you've accomplished. The impact of these comments goes far beyond the moment they're said. Their goal is to make you doubt your abilities and question whether you truly deserve your success. Suddenly, that big win that had you feeling excited seems smaller or less significant. What's even more concerning is that this often comes from people close to you, friends, family, or colleagues, the very people who should be your biggest supporters. This behavior isn't accidental. It's a way of masking jealousy while creating an emotional imbalance within you. Pay attention if this kind of comment happens frequently, especially from the same person. These individuals may try to hide their true intentions with a smile or a vague compliment, but the emotional impact speaks louder. They're trying to weaken your confidence. If someone consistently minimizes your successes or makes them seem trivial, it may be time to rethink the influence they have in your life. Your achievements are important and deserve to be fully celebrated. Don't let anyone take that away from you. They always try to compete with you. Have you ever had a moment where you shared an important achievement, something you were proud of, and instead of hearing a genuine congratulations, the person responded with something like, "That's amazing, but I did something similar, only bigger"? This behavior isn't a coincidence. Jealousy often manifests as a compulsive need to compete, turning any conversation about you into an opportunity for them to highlight their own accomplishments. At first, this constant competition might seem like a coincidence or even an attempt to connect with you, but over time, it becomes clear that it's not. The real intention is to shift the focus from your achievements to theirs. It's as if they can't stand the thought of you having a moment in the spotlight. Deep down, their goal is to dim the light of your victories so they don't feel inferior or overshadowed. The most frustrating part of this behavior is that it robs you of the opportunity to truly celebrate your successes. Every time you try to share something meaningful, the conversation becomes about them. For example, you mention a promotion you earned at work, and within seconds they're listing all the reasons why their promotion was even more challenging. This isn't supported. It's veiled competition that invalidates your joy and emotions. Pay attention to this pattern. If every time you share something important the person seems to be competing with you, it's a clear sign that jealousy is at play. A healthy friendship or relationship shouldn't feel like a battlefield. Instead, it should be a space where both people can celebrate each other's achievements without resentment or comparisons. Remember, your victories are yours. They hold value on their own, regardless of what anyone else has done or achieved. People who truly care about you will recognize this and celebrate with an open heart, without turning every moment into a contest. If someone in your life can't do that, it might be time to reassess the dynamics of that relationship. False compliments. Have you ever received a compliment that at the moment seemed genuine, but later left you with an uncomfortable feeling, as if something wasn't right? Jealous people often use compliments as a mask, but behind those seemingly kind words lies a hidden intention. They try to disguise their true feelings, but their tone of voice, facial expressions, and even the context of their words often reveal what they're really thinking. A classic example is the infamous compliment disguised as a critique. Something like, "Wow, you're so bold to wear that outfit. I'd never have the courage to wear something like that." What might initially seem like a positive comment is actually a subtle way to plant doubt in your mind. Was the compliment sincere? Or was it a veiled criticism? This kind of behavior is calculated, designed to make you question your choices, appearance, or even your accomplishments. The problem with these false compliments is that they're crafted to create insecurity. You start asking yourself, "Did I overdo it?" Or, "Do other people think the same?" This doubt can chip away at your confidence, especially when these comments come from someone you trust or consider close. Instead of feeling supported, you're brought down by an insinuation cleverly disguised as kindness. Pay attention to the pattern. If you frequently feel uncomfortable after receiving a compliment from someone, it's a strong indication that it's not genuine. True compliments lift you up, inspire you, and make you feel good about yourself. False compliments, on the other hand, carry a different energy. They leave you feeling confused, insecure, and sometimes even suspicious of yourself. Remember, those who are truly on your side cheer for you without hiding criticisms behind flowery words. A genuine compliment comes with empathy and positive intent, while a false one always carries a hint of doubt. Recognizing this is essential to protect yourself and prevent these attitudes from undermining your self-esteem. They avoid celebrating your wins. That special moment when you share a big victory, only to be met with an uncomfortable silence or see the person quickly change the subject. This behavior is one of the clearest signs that you might be dealing with someone who is jealous. No matter how much they try to hide it, their difficulty in celebrating your achievements reflects an internal discomfort they can't control. For someone feeling jealousy, your victory might serve as a stark reminder of something they don't have or haven't yet accomplished. This can trigger feelings of inferiority, even though you've done nothing to provoke it. As a result, these individuals often avoid engaging in your celebrations, as if simply acknowledging your happiness is an unbearable weight for them. This behavior can manifest in various ways: sudden mood changes, apparent disinterest, or even comments that attempt to downplay the moment like, "Oh, that's nice, but let's talk about something else." It doesn't necessarily mean this person is bad or intentionally trying to hurt you. Rather, they're struggling to manage their own jealousy. However, for you, this kind of attitude can be painful, especially when it comes from someone you expected genuine support from. It's a clear sign of an imbalance in the relationship, whether it stems from jealousy, insecurity, or difficulty in processing their own feelings. Regardless, it shouldn't affect the value you place on your achievements. If you notice this pattern in someone close to you, pay attention. Don't let their lack of enthusiasm diminish your joy. Your victories are important and deserve to be celebrated, no matter how others feel about them. They copy you. Have you ever heard the saying, "Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery"? While this may be true in many cases, when it comes to jealousy, imitation can take on a very different and even harmful tone. A jealous person might start copying your style, your ideas, or even your life choices. But unlike genuine admiration, the intention behind it is far from harmless. Over time, this imitation can turn into silent competition, and, in more extreme cases, even an attempt to take credit for what you've created. At first, it might seem positive. You notice this person adopting small aspects of your style or replicating some of your ideas. You might even find it amusing or flattering. But as time goes on, the imitation crosses healthy boundaries. It begins to directly influence your personal choices, making you wonder, is this person admiring me or trying to replace me? Jealous people often use imitation as a way to level the playing field. By adopting your traits, they aim to bridge the gap between who you are and what they feel they're lacking. This can create an uncomfortable environment, especially when they realize that, even through imitation, they can't match your originality or the impact you have. This frustration may lead to more toxic behaviors, such as attempting to take credit for something that was your idea. Pay close attention to signs that this imitation has stopped being innocent. If the person begins to compete directly with you, question your decisions, or even try to distract you from your own goals, it might be time to reassess the relationship. It's important to remember that genuine admiration inspires collaboration and respect, while jealousy-fueled imitation seeks to undermine your authenticity and claim your space. The best way to deal with this is to reinforce your own identity. Keep being yourself, without letting these attitudes shake your confidence. And if the relationship starts to negatively impact your confidence or decision-making, don't hesitate to set clear boundaries. After all, being copied might be a sign that you're doing something amazing, but your essence and originality are irreplaceable. They spread lies about you. When jealousy intensifies, it often escalates into more harmful actions, such as spreading lies or rumors about you. This is one of the most toxic signs because it not only attacks your reputation, but also creates an environment of mistrust around you. Jealous individuals who resort to gossip often mix half-truths with outright lies to make their stories more believable. And the closer this person is to you, the more likely it is that their words will seem credible to others. The goal of these actions is clear: to weaken your image and shift attention away from your achievements. When a jealous person realizes they can't compete with you directly, they try to tilt the playing field in other ways. They create situations where you become the target of doubt, mistrust, or even unfair criticism. These rumors are often spread in circles where they know it will have the greatest impact, such as among mutual friends, coworkers, or even on social media. If you start hearing rumors or negative comments about yourself from others, it's important to take a step back and reflect. Where is this coming from? And more importantly, why is it happening? More often than not, the root of these rumors is the jealousy of someone who feels threatened by your success or the attention you receive. This behavior isn't just an attack on you. It's also an attempt to control how others perceive you. People who truly know you will be able to distinguish fact from fiction and won't be easily influenced by gossip. Remember, spreading lies is a strategy of someone who feels threatened, not someone in control. Protecting your peace and staying focused on your achievements is the best way to neutralize these attacks. And if necessary, don't hesitate to distance yourself from individuals who exhibit this kind of toxic behavior. They criticize you. Have you ever been in a situation where someone close to you, seemingly friendly, suddenly makes an embarrassing or critical comment about you in front of others? This behavior is one of the most obvious signs of jealousy. Jealous people often struggle to express their feelings openly, so they find disguised ways to undermine you, especially when there's an audience. These criticisms are often masked as jokes or honesty, with phrases like, "Oh, he always does that, you know how he is," accompanied by a smile meant to hide their true intentions. But the emotional impact is real. These comments aim to subtly or directly put you down, so the jealous person can appear superior, even if just for a moment. It's a tactic to shift the focus from you to themselves, at the expense of your confidence. This behavior is particularly harmful because it often happens in front of people important to you, coworkers, mutual friends, or even family members. The goal is to create doubt about your abilities, behavior, or image, while the jealous person positions themselves as smarter or more insightful. While their tone might seem playful, these criticisms often reveal sensitive details or distort information, causing discomfort and even humiliation. When someone uses criticism as a tool to bring you down, especially in public, it exposes their deep insecurity and desire to control how others perceive you. If you notice this pattern repeating, hold your ground in public situations. If necessary, have a private conversation with the person to make it clear that this behavior is unacceptable. You don't have to tolerate being put down just to boost someone else's ego or help them cope with their own feelings of inadequacy. Your achievements, your image, and your self-esteem are not tools for anyone to use as a means of comparison or belittlement. Stay alert to these behaviors and take steps to protect yourself emotionally. They celebrate your failures. This is one of the most destructive manifestations of jealousy. Have you ever felt that in moments when you needed support, someone seemed strangely relieved or even pleased with your struggles? A jealous person may act this way, revealing a sense of satisfaction, or even relief, at your mistakes or failures. This attitude often isn't limited to direct interactions. In some cases, you may hear from others that this person has made negative or sarcastic comments about your situation. For them, your missteps represent an opportunity to feel better about themselves. It's as if your challenges level the playing field, allowing them to feel superior, even if only for a moment. These behaviors reveal a lack of empathy and a distorted view of what relationships should be. Someone who celebrates your failures isn't rooting for your growth. They're looking for ways to downplay your importance or justify their own insecurities. This can be emotionally devastating, turning moments that are already difficult into even more lonely and painful experiences. Pay attention to the signs. They may be subtle but consistent. Comments that downplay your situation, uncomfortable smiles at inappropriate times, or a lack of genuine concern when you're dealing with challenges. These attitudes indicate that the person isn't there to support you, but rather to reinforce an internal narrative that helps them cope with their own feelings of inadequacy. Dealing with this requires emotional clarity. Recognize that their behavior says more about them than it does about you. Don't let their lack of support make you doubt your abilities or your worth. If you notice these attitudes becoming a pattern, Consider whether distancing yourself is the best course of action. Surrounding yourself with people who celebrate your achievements and support you through tough times is essential to protecting your emotional well-being. They're obsessed with monitoring. Have you ever felt like someone is paying way too much attention to your every move? Jealous people often show an obsessive interest in your life, closely following everything you do, who you're with, and even the small decisions you make. At first, this might seem like mere curiosity or even concern, but over time, the pattern becomes clear. This constant attention isn't about supporting you. It's about comparing, criticizing, or even trying to control. This obsession often shows up as constant questions like, "What did you do yesterday? Who were you with? Why did you decide that?" It might seem innocent, but the frequency and tone of these questions reveal their true motive: underlying jealousy. Additionally, this obsession often extends to social media. These individuals might like or comment on everything you post, but not in a friendly way. Instead, they're more interested in tracking every detail, sometimes even using this information to criticize or compete with you. Another clear sign is their reaction to positive news about you. Instead of genuine enthusiasm, they respond with subtle digs or comments that reveal dissatisfaction or envy. For example, you share a photo from an amazing trip, and their response is something like, "Wow, you're really living it up. Some of us still have to work." These remarks expose the discomfort they feel with your achievements. This invasive behavior can be exhausting because it creates an environment where you constantly feel watched and, in some cases, judged. The issue is that this excessive attention rarely comes with genuine support or celebration. Instead, jealous people monitor you to find something they can use to feel superior or validate their own insecurities. You are not obligated to share everything about your life, especially with people who display this kind of behavior. Remember, you have the right to protect your privacy and prioritize your peace of mind. Your success bothers them. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to change their attitude as soon as you share something positive about your life? Initially, they might appear friendly, interested, and even enthusiastic to hear what you have to say. But the moment the conversation shifts to your success, their demeanor changes drastically. Suddenly, the smile disappears, their responses become curt, or they even show signs of irritation. This sudden shift is a clear sign that your success deeply bothers them. This reaction happens because, to these people, your success may feel like a direct threat. Instead of being happy for you, they feel diminished, as if their own achievements become less significant in comparison. This sense of inadequacy drives their discomfort, even if they try to hide it. This type of behavior is particularly noticeable in close relationships, where you would expect unconditional support but instead encounter coldness or even indifference in moments when you most want to celebrate. How they handle this discomfort is also very telling. They might quickly change the subject, downplay your accomplishments with phrases like, "Oh, that's nice, but anyone could do that," or show subtle irritation through passive-aggressive comments. These reactions make it clear that their happiness depends on the absence of your success, and this can be emotionally draining. On the other hand, people who are genuinely happy for you remain enthusiastic and celebrate your achievements, regardless of how they feel about their own lives. They understand that one person's success doesn't diminish another's worth. This contrast in behavior is crucial for identifying who truly supports you and who allows jealousy to guide their actions. Pay attention to these sudden mood changes. Sometimes, what isn't said speaks louder than the words themselves. If someone consistently reacts negatively or indifferently to your victories, it's a strong indication that jealousy might be driving the dynamic of that relationship. Don't let these reactions dim the light of your achievements. You deserve to celebrate every victory. They want to isolate you. Have you ever had someone in your life who, subtly or directly, tried to distance you from other important people? This is one of the most toxic signs of jealousy, and often comes disguised as concern or care. It might start with seemingly innocent comments like, "Are you sure that person is good for you?" Or, "I just want what's best for you." But over time, the pattern becomes clear. The real intention is to create isolation. This attempt at control isn't about your well-being. It's about their desire to monopolize your attention and influence your decisions. The logic is simple. The fewer people you have around you, the less competition they feel. and the more space they have to shape your perceptions and interfere with your choices. This behavior might start small, but quickly escalates to more direct actions, like severe criticism of your friends, family, or even your romantic partner. The issue with this strategy of isolation is that it can be hard to recognize at first because it's often wrapped in a tone of care or concern. Someone might insist they're only trying to protect you or help you avoid bad influences, but the real goal is to weaken your external connections and create emotional dependence. Over time, this can deeply harm your relationships with other important people, and even affect your emotional freedom, leaving you more vulnerable to their control. Pay attention if someone frequently devalues the people you're close to, or tries to convince you that they're not good for you. While it's healthy to take advice from trusted individuals, a consistent pattern of criticism and attempts to distance you from others is a clear sign of manipulation driven by jealousy. This behavior reveals more about the person's insecurity and desire for control than it does about your relationships. Protect your healthy connections. They're essential for maintaining your emotional and social independence. If someone is trying to isolate you, step back immediately. Healthy relationships don't compete for attention. They strengthen one another. They make you feel guilty of your success. This is the most dangerous sign of jealousy, when someone tries to make you feel guilty of what you've achieved. This can come in the form of seemingly innocent remarks like, "Wow, you're so lucky." These types of comments aren't just unnecessary. They're calculated to undermine your confidence and shake your sense of worth. Jealous individuals use guilt as an emotional weapon because they know that if they can make you doubt the value of your success, they'll have an easier time exerting control over you. It's a subtle but devastating strategy that puts you in an emotionally vulnerable position, where you start questioning whether you truly deserve what you've accomplished. This kind of emotional manipulation is particularly harmful because it directly impacts your self-esteem. The jealous person's goal is to bring you down to their level, dimming the light of your achievements so they don't feel so small in comparison. By using phrases that highlight the struggles of others or imply that your success is the result of luck rather than effort, they aim to create discomfort and guilt around your accomplishments. Recognizing this behavior is essential to protect your emotional well-being, and no one has the right to devalue that or make you feel bad for something you've worked to achieve. People who are genuinely happy for you will celebrate by your side without trying to turn your victory into a reason for guilt. When you notice this pattern, stand firm. Don't let yourself be influenced by comments designed to take away the value of what you've earned. Remember, your success takes nothing away from anyone else, and celebrating your victories is your right. The best way to neutralize these attitudes is to keep moving forward with confidence and continue surrounding yourself with people who genuinely support you. At the end of the day, success is something to be celebrated, not hidden. You've worked hard to get where you are, and that deserves recognition. Don't let anyone out of jealousy or insecurity take that away from you. Now that you're aware of these 12 signs of jealousy, it's important to remember, jealousy rarely presents itself openly. It hides in subtle behaviors that, if left unchecked, can deeply impact your emotional well-being, your relationships, and even your self-esteem. These signs, though they might seem minor at first, are like cracks that over time can weaken the foundation of even your strongest connections. The last sign I shared is particularly dangerous because it combines shame and emotional control, making you vulnerable to questioning your own worth and achievements. But all the signs discussed today share one thing in common. They reveal hidden intentions that do nothing to contribute to your growth or happiness. Recognizing them is the first step to protecting your mental health and building healthier relationships based on mutual support and respect. True relationships don't compete, diminish, or attempt to control. They celebrate your victories, support you during tough times, and respect your individuality. If you've recognized behaviors like these in someone close to you, it might be time to set boundaries or reconsider that person's role in your life. Your emotional health is far too valuable to be compromised by toxic dynamics. If this video helped you identify signs of jealousy in someone close or reflect on your own relationships, don't forget to like and share. This could be the wake-up call someone in your circle needs to identify similar situations and take action. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button now for more content to help you identify and overcome emotional challenges in your daily life. Remember, your achievements deserve to be celebrated, and your happiness should never be a source of guilt. Take care of what matters to you and surround yourself with people who genuinely cheer for your success. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.